The 2-cent report!
Good day, internet people, if you can be called that. My name is Justin, aka 1 Cent Justin, aka LC Lupus. And I'm joined today by a different person. And he is...
I'm the same person, first of all. Tristan.
Disgusting.
If you've been listening, I'm just the short one that sits in the corner and talks about things that irritate me.
He's the sadder one.
I'm the sadder one, yeah.
Well, I'm more the super overly critical one, so maybe I'm the sadder one. You actually enjoy games.
Only the free ones.
Only the free ones. And ones that are 90% off on a Steam sale.
Welcome to the 2-cent report, aka the Poverty Cast.
Poverty Cast. We don't have the right to that name, though.
No, we
can't
don't even have
afford
the right
it.
to this name.
We can't afford the name. Copywriting things costs money.
And as you've guessed, we got no money.
No. We wear the same shirt every day. Sometimes we swap them.
You know, add a little bit of variety.
Yeah, you need a little bit of variety. And, you know, this microphone cost 400 Rand. Which is like $8.
Why are we explaining to them that we're poor?
I don't know. Okay, anyway, we're here to talk about the news. Because...
What news? What kind of news are we
the
talking
news about the video game industry. It's the most important news. Who cares about political repercussions of bombing countries? We're going to talk about bombing made-up countries.
And getting high scores.
And getting high scores, because as we know, modern games have high scores. Incidentally, the game I'm playing at the moment does have high scores. And I just got an achievement for that. Which I got the achievement and I was like, there was a score count?
It's one of those that subtly just handed to you, like, here's a score count.
It's in the top right corner and I never really noticed it. I just see there's a number.
You're like, okay.
And I'm like, there's a number up there. So, I mean, at least I have a number now. It was over 700,000. I don't know if that's a lot or a little.
This is in beats per minute?
Yes.
Okay.
I finally finished it.
It's a achievement.
It's a roguelike. So finishing it means you get to start again.
Mm-hmm.
With, you know, I unlocked a new ability. So then I finished it on hard. And unlocked another ability. Now I have like 5 other characters I'm supposed to play through it with.
And you're going to do it?
Not all of them, because some of them suck.
Mm-hmm.
The one character...
Well, Just Cause 2 just sits in the corner.
I've already deleted it. I looked at it and I was like,
Not happening.
I can't do this anymore. I reloaded it and I was in a place that I know I left. And I was like, cool, I should go to the next place. And it's like 20 kilometers away. And I was like, I'm going to use the fast travel system. And then it said, you can't fast travel there. You haven't been there yet. So I was like, fuck this game.
You're done.
I'm done. I'm moving on with my life. I'll just play beats per minute and slowly but surely play Disco Elysium. Which is straight up one of the funniest things I've ever played in my life. Fuck, it's hilarious. I like that you wake up drunk. It's great. Anyway. Has anything stuck out to you, or should we get to the news?
No, I've been taking it easy this past week.
Calls himself a gamer.
Hey, I'm still playing games. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was playing again more Song of Six, just letting it play in the background while I watch stuff about the gaming industry.
You're turning into me.
It's your fault.
You shouldn't do this. It's gonna make you unhappy.
I think I'm already there.
Pretend to be happy, Tristan. Pretend.
I can't afford to.
So, shall we then start on the news?
Yes. What is up first?
So, we're going to start off with, as per usual, start off with the more light-hearted stories. So the first thing, and I find it hilarious that they're doing this in the middle of a pandemic. But Super Mario World, which is basically a Disneyland type thing,
Nintendo Land.
It's a theme park, is opening in Japan. I'm like, it's the best time to open a theme park
Hey
in
guys,
the middle of a global pandemic.
guess what? Nintendo is selling Mario. Ooh.
I know, but Tristan, don't be so cynical. You can buy things like cupcakes in the shape of those mushroom people. I don't know what any of the...
Or you can just go buy mushrooms and see people in the shape of them.
That is true. That is very true, but it's harder to buy that at a store. And they're usually not themed.
Would you buy themed drugs?
I mean, think about it. Imagine you can just walk into a place and be like, so, do you want the name brand cocaine? It's got Nike on it.
Just do it, yeah.
Or do you want... Or do you want the Pick and Pay no name brand one? Slightly cheaper. We also have this one that has Metroid on it. And you, I want the Metroid one. I'm a Nintendo fan. That's one of their 5 franchises.
Of course I want it. I think you could just make a business selling discounted Nintendo merch, and you would still make it big.
Like pop figures.
No, not even them. Like, you source like stickers, and somebody will buy it.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then Nintendo finds out and sues your ass.
Nintendo likes suing.
Yes.
I remember they like fan games. They sue them. They're dicks. How anyone can like Nintendo?
And yet they have enough money to open up a theme park.
Of course they do. It's Nintendo, Tristan.
In COVID.
But also remember...
In Japan.
But remember, this is back in the day when people said, you know, are you going to go play video games? They said, are you going to go play Nintendo? So, I mean, I think it still sticks around in some people's heads that is the device on which you play games, even though you'd be like, Mom, this is a PlayStation 4. But, you know, that's Nintendo.
I would say that in this country, I never had a friend that had a Nintendo, an Atari. I haven't seen them.
To be
Sega
fair,
Genesis, I have never seen them.
To be fair, Atari was in the 80s.
Okay, fair enough.
We were still sperm at that point.
I remember my uncle got the first Xbox.
Okay. I never actually saw an original Xbox. The original Xbox One. And then, like PlayStation 1 existed in this country.
Oh, I've seen them. I used to rent them out.
But it only really became a thing with the PlayStation 2. That was the first time, gaming became a thing in this country.
Nobody that I knew bought the PlayStation 1, but they did the PlayStation 2. But I remember seeing it a lot because you could hire it out by the video store.
Yeah, well, my uncle had a PS1. I never had one. But, PS2, then we finally had games in this country. But I've never seen a Nintendo Entertainment System, an NES or an SNES, or a Sega Genesis.
No.
I've never seen one.
Not in this country.
Not in this country. I've seen them in videos from
them.
other faraway places.
But you just don't find them down here.
No.
Who'd have thought, eh?
Yeah.
It's almost like we had some kind of
legal sanctions against us.
Forcing them not to come in here.
Strange, that. So, you ready for the next story?
Yes.
This one is kind of just because I happen to be playing it right now. Right as I started playing Disco Elysium, they announced that they were releasing the Complete Edition, which makes all of the lines voiced and adds new quests and a whole new area. So
now you're like, I don't want to play this version anymore.
I am kind of thinking that. I'm like, it's coming out on the 30th of March. And I'm like, it's a free update. I should just fucking wait.
Yes, wait. Yeah. Wait for it.
So that's cool. That's just nice.
And it's a free update.
Yes, it's a free update. I like it when companies are like, we did really well with our game. We're going to give you an upgrade for free. It's nice. AAA companies don't do this. They go, you can get the Game of the Year edition. You have to buy it again.
Yeah, buy the whole game again.
Yeah.
To get the Game of the Year edition.
By the way, your saves don't import. Fuck you.
No, of course not. It's an older version.
Yeah, they'll be like, here's your new, I don't know, what's a game that like really matters that, you know, you keep your save. Like a roguelike or something. I don't know.
Borderlands.
Like Borderlands. They'd be like, fuck you. Do it all again. Bitch.
And this time you get New Game Plus. So do it twice.
Yeah.
Because that's going to make a difference. Because when you go to the next Borderlands, half the characters die. And I'm not talking about any particular spoilers. I'm talking about when you go from 1 to 2, people die. And when you go from 2 to 3, people die.
I've always had a bit of a problem with Borderlands, its story. Because on one hand, they try and be really, really silly and funny. And then they're like, now let's try and make it sad that like, someone died. And you're like...
It's like reverse Thor.
I haven't seen Thor.
Oh my god. Thor Ragnarok was the funny one.
Oh, is that what you mean?
2,
okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, was the one that everyone said was shit.
Yeah, because it was more brooding and dark and...
Like Batman.
No, not
like modern Batman.
No.
Not like Tim Burton Batman.
No.
I love Tim Burton Batman.
Of course you do.
The Penguin is great.
Why specifically the Penguin?
Danny DeVito, dressed like a penguin. It's fucking ridiculous. He has a pointy nose and everything.
And that voice.
They don't make him like that anymore. They don't let superhero movies be stupid.
No, it must be serious. It must be hit home.
Or a comedy like a Deadpool.
Mm.
But even that isn't silly. Deadpool isn't silly. Not like Tim Burton's Batman.
You're just gonna... Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yes.
You've seen the first one with Jack Nicholson as the Joker. And his like face is contorted into a smile.
I've seen all of the Batmans. Mainly because I wanted to know, because people always say that they're shit. So I only caught on to Batman a bit later. So I was like, hey, let me first, before I start talking shit about them, watch them.
Well, with me, I watched like The Dark Knight. And I was like, I enjoyed the Joker. Not the Batman man in it. He was very boring. So when I watched the sequel, I was like, but there's no Joker. What's the point of this movie? I don't think I'm a Batman fan.
No, definitely not. But they're very much like Nintendo people, the Batman people.
Well, comics in general. Because they're like, we've been making these since 1964. Let's make another one. Let's make our 4th Spider-Man character. It's a new character. He's still Spider-Man. We're not going to make a new character. We're just going to make a new Spider-Man.
But sometimes it needs that refresh.
Or you could just make something new.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with like when you say that any story that can be told has already been told.
Yeah.
Now.
I mean, I suppose...
So pick the one that people like the best.
Superheroes are kind of like mythology. You can just retell it in a modern setting. So I'm fine with it. Like, I loved Into the Spider-Verse. It's fucking great. And amazing animation.
You know, I'm just thinking now. You don't mind them refreshing the character. You don't mind them working on the same set of rules.
Yeah.
It's just that it must be done right.
Yeah.
Don't reboot something for money and profit. Reboot it because you want to do better.
Well, ultimately, that is why you reboot anything.
I don't know.
For money and profit.
Okay, yeah, but now we've moved past the reboots. We're now in the remastering phase.
Yeah. Well, of games. You don't really get remasters of
Well,
movies.
I believe what Disney's doing is a remaster.
No, there's live action things.
Yes, I believe it's a
remaster. I
remaster.
refuse to watch any of them.
Because what happens, it's an updated product.
Yeah.
With more realistic visuals.
Yeah. I don't know why it has to be realistic.
It's remastered, not rebooted.
Okay. Yeah. Although I believe that they do change the stories in some of them. I haven't seen them, so I don't know this.
Oh, no, they're all cringe. For me, personally, they're all cringe.
I can't watch any of them. I don't know. Like, I looked at, like, the trailer for, like, Lion King. And I was like, yes, they look very realistic. They look very good. Good luck trying to get an emotion out of a realistic CGI lion's face when his dad dies and it just has the same stoic look on its face like lions always have. There's just a lion who's like, this is happy lion. This is sad lion.
The thing is, it drains the color and the enjoyment out of it, which means that it feels more like it's just sad. They're all more grittier because they're all more realistic.
Yeah.
Now, the nice thing is, although at that point in the story it was sad, the next bit of footage is all colorful. Simba's in a jungle and they're singing. You, as a child, you recover from that hurt before you progress with the story. Like, they don't want to just leave that there. With all these remakes, they never comfort you through it. They never visually try to make it's all right, things will get better.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the problem.
Well, my thing is, I'm fine with 3D animation, but they should also make 2D animation. I like them both. They can both exist. Disney doesn't have to just stop. Like, the last one they made was, I think, Treasure Planet.
No. The Princess and the Frog?
Oh, okay, yeah. Princess and the Frog. Okay, yes. But, like, what, they haven't made one since then? That was, like, 2006 or something?
No, I think it was... No, I don't think Disney is actually focused on making something we want, because they're focused on making something we will buy. Yeah. Because a lot of the movies are just adverts for all the merch that they're going to push. But
I think one of my things, and okay, a lot of people that I follow are very much aware of this, but, we'll be like, people like Alphabet and Apple and, all of these companies, they're evil conglomerates. But people don't seem to think the same about Disney. And it is an evil conglomerate.
Of course. Founded by a racist.
It's also probably more evil, because unlike the other ones where we're like, yes, we use sweatshops, they're just like, we will just use your childhood imagery to make you pay for things. It's more evil. It's like how in Mr. Robot, he sees the company as being called Evil Corp. Maybe that's what Disney is. It's just Evil Corp.
Yeah, but
we're gonna milk your nostalgia until you fucking pay.
The minute they found that out, it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
It was bound to happen. That's why a lot of games, because we're a gaming podcast.
I know.
Maybe some games get milked to that degree because
well, we should
profit.
Yes. Well, we should probably then move on to the next game thing, as you so pointed out. This guy called, it's spelled T and then an O, as in like the number ST. So I think it's pronounced Toast or Tzirost. I have a feeling it's gonna be Toast. So Toast discovered that there was something messed up in GTA 5, like some pointless line of code in it, and he just kind of stripped it, and it reduced load times by 70%.
I saw that. Yeah. Yes.
And then, seeing as technically Rockstar could have sued him for basically jailbreaking their system, they instead were like, cool, let's make this an official patch.
Well,
so that's nice.
I think that they had no clue what in the, because they've got so much code. How are they going to find that one? That would take way too much money.
Well,
so just kept them. No, but the thing is, they used it, right? Probably gave them some compensation, but the money that the studio would have spent on trying to locate this.
Yeah, they gave them 10 grand, which is nice, at least.
I'm going to go pour through, now that Microsoft owns Bethesda, I'm going to go pour through some of Bethesda bugs. But the unofficial patch unofficially released.
But that was just something nice. That they actually did that. Now we have a couple of, here's a funny one. So, it's called Super Bomberman R Online, which I think is supposed to sound like they are online now. Anyway, it's like a battle royale Bomberman game. Okay? No.
Not my Bomberman.
No.
Don't take my Bomberman.
No, but here's the thing. Right? It was developed as a Stadia exclusive.
Oh, okay, well then.
And then, now, because Konami, who made it, she made a game. I
thought the Bomberman I
yeah,
played,
it's owned by Konami, yeah.
But the Bomberman I played was Atomic, and I remember that being developed by Interplay.
Interesting. When was that, though?
Atomic is old.
Yeah.
Atomic is real old. I can't remember when, but I remember that it was Interplay that made Atomic Bomberman.
Well, in this one, they just did it. It wasn't that. It wasn't them. It was Konami who made it. And because Stadia has done very well in recent years.
Successfully earning money.
Yeah, fuck, they're badasses. So now it's going to be available on like PC and Xbox and PlayStation.
So they're just porting it.
Yeah, they're just porting it.
I mean, like,
and they're like,
what are you going to do?
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be an exclusive. But yeah, obviously Stadia isn't exactly
there anymore.
Doing that anymore. And also has crossplay, which must make the people who thought Stadia was going to, kick up everything and be like, oh yeah, we got Stadia because we're like the cool new guys. And they're like, now you get to play with the fucking PlayStation bitches. So you don't get to feel exclusive anymore. Which I find fucking hilarious.
Down in the dumps with the rest of us now. Welcome to real life.
Exactly. So, less fun stuff.
Yes.
Tristan's trying to read my screen. Look at my screen. Porn on there. So, less fun, but still interesting. So, Payday 3. I don't know if you know anything about Starbreeze Studios. About what's been happening with them.
No.
So, Starbreeze, who made Payday 2, they've been going through problems for quite a while. So they made
financial
and legal. So it started out being like, oh, we can't really pay for. They were funding System Shock, the System Shock like reboot.
Yes.
I can't remember if they were doing the reboot or if they were doing System Shock 3 because they're different games made by different people. Okay, but it's one of them. And then they were like, oh, we can't pay you anymore. We don't have money. So then they had to do something else. And then they were like, yeah, so we're going to be doing a restructuring. Our government, because I think it's a Scandinavian country, so they actually nice to their workers. They're like, no, you can do a restructuring, everything like that. And then at one point, the police raided them.
The police raided them? Yes,
and I think the CEO was taken away in handcuffs.
Wait.
He was doing something dodgy.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, cool. We're like, this isn't going so well. Everything's... But we're still, don't worry, we're still doing Payday 2. And we're funding Payday 3. We're going to get the funding. We need the funding. Please, someone, fund us. So they've been funded by Koch Media, who are like quite a big company. Mostly Koch Media is one of those companies that like buys up companies and just has them do things like a Tencent.
Yes.
They don't really do it so much themselves. Yeah, they're more. But that's at least something nice. So at least Payday 3 gets to come out. I mean, Payday 2 is still a huge hit on Steam.
I want to know what that CEO has been up to.
Yeah, I don't. It was just like
you just breezed past that.
I remember just seeing this was like last year before. This has been going on for ages.
Oh, okay,
this is not new news. This is old.
Well, if this is on the intro bit of it, I want to know what's next.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to see what. Well, what happens.
Yeah, keep an eye on that one.
Yeah. So that should be interesting.
But we're all getting Payday 3.
What?
We're all getting
Payday 3 at some point. But yeah, we will have to see what actually happens with Starbreeze. They were like funding games and everything. They were going publisher. They were not just developing anymore. And
I bet you the CEO did something with that momentum, that financial backing. Yeah. Something there seems like he tried to steal that all away.
And it didn't work.
People get greedy, eh?
But anyway, another interesting thing is that Sony and Endeavor, just another company, they bought up Evo. Do you know Evo?
Yes, I know.
The fighting tournament. So they've bought up Evo. Now, my thing about this, they haven't really given any reasons as to why. Because also when I think fighting games, I don't think Sony.
Really? Because you got... Well, let's talk about fighting games on Sony. You've got Tekken.
Yeah, but those are on Sony. They're still on Xbox as well.
Fair enough.
Like when you think...
You don't think Brawler was...
You don't think Fighter, Sony.
What do you think of Sony? I think RPG.
When I think Sony, I think of like those kind of... It's always third person, like adventure title. Like a God of War or a Uncharted or Jack.
so an RPG.
They're not RPGs though.
Yeah, but it still, for me, it still falls under it because it's a role-playing game. You're role-playing as that character.
I mean, you could say that you're role-playing as the character about Doom.
Yes,
because you are playing as him.
Yes.
Although that could actually a bad example because that has RPG mechanics. Quake 3.
Yes.
You're role-playing as a person.
No, but the thing is, it's different when you have personality. When the actual character has personality, then I would say, okay, God of War not so much because Kratos is Kratos. But I'm talking about that real like linear protagonist.
Yeah.
That has a quirk or has like a few comments that they make, but you really are the one.
Yeah.
Acting for them. Like for instance, Fallout. Yeah, you essentially you can customize your character, but at the end of the day, you're role playing as that vault dweller or that survivor, and you are following a scripted pattern. You might feel like you've got choices, but all of these were scripted for this character you're role playing as. So if you use that logic against most games, it's only when they get a little bit older and the and at the time the technology wasn't good enough. That's when you can determine if it's like a first-person shooter. Well,
ultimately, still, when you think Sony, you don't think fighter.
Yes.
You know, you'll think of like Neversoft, Mortal Kombat. You know, you'll think of them. Think of Tekken. You'll think of Blaze Blue, those kind of games. So strange, but here's my thought. Microsoft has been buying up everything it can in its long process for console supremacy. Maybe Sony is finally going, shit.
Yeah. Especially with...
What should we buy? A fighting tournament. Just, I don't know, man. Just do something.
Yeah, the thing is, it wasn't so scary until for me personally, it wasn't so like, oh shit, it's happening.
Until Bethesda.
Yeah. And then I know it still hasn't technically gone through, but it's pretty much there.
It's going to go through. It's been approved, so it's going to happen.
So you're just waiting on that, and then with their promises for the products currently in development, the games could like after that. You're going to Xbox.
Yes.
You're going to
PC.
To PC. Yeah. You're gonna need to move.
So I think Sony has, because also like a while back Sony bought Insomniac, which people. I mean, I thought they were an exclusive because they made Spyro and Resistance and they're all PlayStation exclusives. Turns out, no, they were just the independent studio that was like hired by them.
Yeah.
And they've finally been bought up by Sony. But like, still, have you seen how many studios Microsoft has bought up?
They're just like...
They're not fucking around.
Yeah.
They're like, no. We lost the Xbox One generation. We lost. We're not gonna lose.
We can have so many fucking exclusives.
They're playing the super long game. It's not even like this generation. It's the next generation. They're thinking way ahead. They're like, no.
And they know they got the financial backing to think that far.
Yeah. They're Microsoft. Like, I mean, people. I think there tends to be this weird disconnect. People like don't think that Xbox is Microsoft.
Well, they don't think that Windows is Microsoft sometimes.
Yeah, and you're like, no, fuck, they own like PCs.
If you're using Windows.
If you're using Windows, which basically, if you're not using an Apple, and if you're not a Linux snob, you are using Windows.
Which means you're using their product.
Yeah. So, I mean, they will always win in the end. So, are you ready?
For this? Yeah. No, not that one.
Boop.
No, definitely not that one.
Riot Games.
Yes.
Who made League of Legends.
Yes.
Well, making continuously. And other new things. Anyway, they have not been having the best of times in the last few years. They got caught up in a couple of...
Scandals?
You know about the scandals?
I know about some of them.
Basically, the toxic work environment, blatant sexism in their offices. So that's not been fun. So Alienware, the big tech company that makes like really good shit, they decided...
That's a snobby ass company.
That is a snobby ass company. And they decided, we don't really want to sponsor your tournaments anymore because...
There's so much shit hovering above you.
Yeah, and it was specifically the reason that they did it was because there's currently a lawsuit going against the CEO for sexual harassment, multiple cases from multiple people, and they were just like, yeah, but this isn't really.
Yeah, we don't want to sponsor you anymore.
This doesn't. It makes us look bad. Sort out your own shit.
What's with these CEOs, eh?
When you have money. So then, and now this is the best thing about this, okay? Riot Games then had an internal investigation. So basically, its own department investigated its CEO and found no wrongdoing.
Oh, of course.
So Riot Games investigated Riot Games and was like, no, these guys are fucking great.
It's like our government.
Yeah.
We get rid of the people that's supposed to do the investigation, and the president investigates himself.
Yes, but that's
right after dismissing.
It's the only man you can trust, just.
You can't trust the people that might find something.
No, God.
Can you imagine all the lawsuits?
So that's just something funny.
Mm.
But like when I saw Riot Games investigates Riot Games,
I don't think they actually see
no
it.
evidence of wrongdoing. You're just like, well, of course they don't see any wrongdoing. What do you expect? You think they're gonna be like, yes, he's like a piece of shit? That's
like China. When Australia wanted to look into China about the coronavirus, and then other nations started getting on board because China's like, no, we will look into it ourselves.
You always want to look into it yourself. Who's be like, no, go away.
There's probably so much going on.
It's like that Trevor Noah thing. This is only for South African listeners.
Well,
but when he was talking about the Scorpions who were investigating Zuma.
Yes, but our American friends will know this by now.
Well, I don't know if they know about Zuma.
Okay, yeah.
Where he was like, no, the Scorpions, which is basically like our like SWAT type, investigative FBI.
Yes.
Yeah. And
they're more along the lines of FBI.
Yeah,
No,
FBI, yeah.
But FBI for corruption.
Yeah. Well, they were.
Yeah.
And then they were, Zuma was like, oh, you guys are doing such a good job. And then they started investigating him, and he was like, you can stop now. And then he disbanded them. Because that's what a not guilty person does.
Do what this sounds like. It sounds like Stadia. You're doing such a good job. Yeah, well done. Good job, now go home. Don't go back.
# no severance.
Speaking about no proper compensation, I hope there's a part in there about our old friend Blizzard.
There is Blizzard. Also, this is already actually the final news story because
just ruined my segue.
I'm completely sorry. I'm gonna ruin your segue because this week was actually quite dull and there wasn't really that much. Ultimately. Also, we usually do 2 weeks at a time. So, Activision-Blizzard. There's a whole narrative going on here. So first off, they announced layoffs between 50 and 180 people.
Restructuring.
Restructuring. Also, I don't know if you saw this, or maybe you did.
Mm-hmm.
Their wonderful severance that they gave people. So, Justin, how do you want to give people severance? And you're Activision-Blizzard. What do you give them?
No, hands down a gift card.
A gift card?
Yes, hands down.
To where?
To our shop, yes.
Yes, obviously.
Yes. And then basically we fund it with the salaries we would have paid.
Yes.
So basically what you're essentially doing is that you're giving me my final salary, but I can only spend it by you putting money back into the company.
Do you know that in BioShock Infinite? I don't know if you ever played BioShock Infinite.
Yes.
In BioShock Infinite, there's that place, like that big capitalist guy, and he has basically just black people doing his work. And they get paid in tokens that they can then spend at his store.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yes. So what we're saying is we don't want to give away money. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you money temporarily for you to just give it back to us.
Yeah.
Because we don't want it going anywhere else but by us.
Yeah. Like imagine if Amazon laid off a bunch of people and then said, here's a $200 Amazon gift card.
Or just like your salary on a gift card.
Yeah.
And
you can only spend it with us.
Yeah. So essentially I'm going to pay you, but it doesn't mean anything because... Yeah. You're going to give me back my money.
Also, at least
they actually give them credit. You're actually giving.
Yeah.
You're actually saying, you know what? We're going to give you credit.
But the actual thing is even worse. Say it would be better if Amazon did this, because at least you can buy food on Amazon. You can buy necessities on Activision-Blizzard's Battle.net. You can only buy games
and just random stuff in the shop,
which you can't eat. I've tried.
It's so sad.
It's ridiculous.
But there is a way out of this. All right, there is a way out. It's a horrible way out of this. It's simple. Find a WoW addict and sell him your gift card, because they may have spent a lot of money, real money on buying all that gold, but think about this: you're gonna give them a gift card, right? And you tell them that it's from the developer, so it's not only a gift card, but it's also a collector's item.
Oh yes.
Now they're paying more for it, and as a bonus, they get to spend that money. That's the only way you're gonna make it out.
I have a feeling though that this voucher is a digital voucher only, and it's maybe a code.
Then sell them the code.
Yeah, but then you can't have it as a collector's item.
You can. You can forward them the email. There's your digital collector's item. Just like all the other shit you've bought on the shop. All digital. You're not gonna buy. No, that's another thing. Imagine they actually put actual Blizzard merch on the shop, and then say you get enough coins from mining in WoW, you could essentially buy yourself merch. So think about this: you work hard enough, and you can buy yourself a WoW top. The reason that doesn't exist is because you're now costing them real world money. That's it.
Yeah.
So
But now, Tristan, what do you do as the CEO of a company when you've just had to lay off a whole bunch of people and you're giving them vouchers because apparently you can't pay them anymore? What would you do if you were the head of Activision-Blizzard?
I think I'd give myself a 200 million bonus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No. That's mine.
You give yourself a bonus.
Yeah, of course.
Which some of the shareholders are like, you shouldn't be doing that, and they're like, fuck the noise, I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So that's what you do. And then what you also do, I don't know if you know about this part.
So I raise this question again. What the fuck is going on with these CEOs? Seriously, this is 3 companies now where it's like, what the fuck is going on with CEOs?
But maybe CEO is just code word for the devil. But I don't know if you know about this other thing that then happened. So he gave himself a nice bonus. Bobby Kotick, who I've mentioned before on this podcast. He's the guy that doesn't like it that people put devil horns on him because he says it hurts his dating life.
Well, you know what? Now that everybody knows you got a cool 200 mil, you know what? Your dating life is going up.
Exactly. So what do you do after you've laid off people, given them gift cards, given yourself a bonus? You announce more layoffs. Because that's
hard work.
It is hard work. You have to like type it in, like LAY dash. It's actually a hyphen technically. OFF, and then you send it to the people who do the actual work, and you go, you deal with it. Find me 400 people you can get rid of.
It's a lot of negative energy involved in that decision making.
This is why you need crystals.
Only 200 mil can satisfy the negativity you face. Fuck the people with the gift cards. You are negatively impacted.
It hurts.
It's a lot on your shoulders.
It hurts. It's very hard on the shoulders.
Yeah.
And when you're feeling really, really guilty, you get erectile dysfunction, which will also really affect your dating life.
Or a yacht.
Or a yacht. That's also good.
A yacht with a porpoise in it.
I know that's how I recover. I can't afford a proper yacht. But I'm sure I could find a dinghy somewhere. I could get in one. Be chased away because it's not my dinghy.
I'll just run water in the sink and put a container in it.
You know what? My uncle's a fisherman. That's like a fishing trawler. But I'll just ask him if I can go lie on it for a while.
There's a boat parked just outside here. I'm sure they wouldn't mind if I just stood next to it.
You can stand next to it, take a photo.
I feel like, yeah.
Pretend it's yours. So they're going to be laying off all their people in the European offices because their reason, people aren't buying physical games anymore, Tristan, so we don't need all those publishers anymore. Everything's digital now. So ultimately, whose fault is it that these people are being laid off? The consumer. It's players' fault. If you didn't buy games on Steam, we could still hire these people, but no.
I mean, I don't see how you can make a physical copy of Diablo Immortal or what's the other one?
Reforged.
Warzone. The Call of Duty Warzone.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't see how you can make a physical copy of that.
You couldn't make a physical copy. Where would it go? In a disc slot on a PlayStation.
Those fucking primitives. Look at them with their compact discs.
Back in my day.
And their DVDs.
You know, back in my day, we did still... But genuinely, in my day, I remember a computer still having stiffy disk drives.
Yes.
Which people still call floppy disks because stiffy sounds bad.
Well, they haven't seen the floppy yet.
Ironically, floppies were bigger than stiffies.
Because it's easier to beat you that way.
It is easy. But you can fit more data on a stiffy.
Now everybody's just flashing.
They last longer.
I don't know. Stiffy disks were, for me, notoriously difficult. Especially when you got like that box set to install like one application. Like I remember installing Encarta. If anybody has ever had to install fucking Encarta, before CDs, you had a box.
Just by the way, if anyone still thinks this is a penis metaphor, it's no longer.
Encarta is basically a knowledge database that we used before the internet while writing assignments because we couldn't go to the library.
Shit, I remember that.
The
old days.
Yes, Encarta. And you got Encarta, you got it in a box. And in the box it was about sometimes 10, sometimes more stiffy disks of part 1, part 2. And you would have to slot it in, do its thing, slot it out, slot it in, slot it out. Then you would have it on. You would research, the size of a whale's brain. Because your teacher decided that they were going to give her homework to find the shit out. And you knew that it's going to take your uncle 2 days to bring over the Encarta discs. So you were fucked when it was time to get to writing your report or your essay or whatever. You would get this. You would look up the whale brain. You would write your report, hand it in. And then, for me, my dad used to always uninstall Encarta thinking, oh no, he's done with it, he needs the space. Which meant that every single time I had to write an assignment, I had to break the box. Well, first I had to 2 days travel from my uncle's house to here because first day you'll be like, yeah, he'll bring it over. And second day you'll be like, no, now he's really bringing it over. And then you would bring it over. So yeah. And then you know what? You get average marks. Because everybody has handed in the exact same report because everybody's using fucking Encarta.
This is like your version of, when they say, I don't know, Tembiso, a small African child, has to walk all the way to get water from the river and then walk back 4 kilometers and then boil it using a fire. This is your version.
Fucking Encarta. God. They were terrible. It was bad days. Like I said, this is when because the library was so limited, you couldn't all go to hire to rent out the same book to write your essay on. And there's only so many books in the library. So with Encarta, but everybody got the same information. They just wrote it differently. You
know what? You go to a university library, the books that were used as like say the set work books. They would have like 40 copies of it. Yeah, that's a university library. And the rest of us are dealing with this fucking private public library shit. They don't have anything.
It just smells of old people. I swear they forgot someone back there.
Maybe.
Someone fell asleep on one of those cushion things. They just closed the library.
She'll be here in the morning. And we were like, what's that smell? And they go, that's Agatha.
Oh, I was thinking Agnes, but we got the...
Yes, it's Agnes Agatha. Lestrade. And her husband. It's just Toby. He doesn't like the library. He can still hear the moans of his wife.
Oh, God.
Bring me the book.
I actually liked the library, and
I love the library. I don't go there anymore.
No, me neither. I don't go there anymore. They've changed. They put like a wall up in the middle of the library. Like,
I don't like the new layout.
Mm.
This is literally just.
Also, there's someone else there named Tristan, so I don't like going there because I have the
bitch.
same conversation every single time. Because you wait in the line, and for some reason, he's always the person that I get.
Well,
and when I get him, he always goes, "Huh, that's my name." Ha 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 ha. I guess I'm taking it out for myself. The same joke. Every single time I go to the library, the same joke I get from this guy.
Well, I went up to the thing, and they saw my surname, which is Afrikaans surname, and he said, "Is jy 'n boer?" I was like, no.
I mean, like, is that even a right a question to ask? You know, like, how do you ask that in this day and age? Old people get away with a lot of things in this day and age.
Yeah, you can say anything.
Like, let's take a look at your destroyer, right? You can get away with anything, and I'm talking about putting butter on people's windscreens.
My delightful grandmother. She's awesome and not very racist.
Referred to as Dot the Destroyer.
She's great. She's a cool granny.
She's somehow tongue-tied now.
She makes really nice macaroni and cheese. But she destroyed my traps. I caught 5 mice. 5. She's never caught 1. And she destroyed my trap.
The only thing she has caught is Bollywood fever.
It is funny. That shit is funny. Everyone, watch, if you're in South Africa, find something called Glow TV. It's fucking hilarious. You need to watch it because these people have heard of film techniques. They googled them once. They figured out if you do a close-up, it can be like an emotion thing. If you do a close-up. So let's do 10 in a minute. Because that doesn't wear out the effect or anything. You can use music to increase the tension. Let's just have music the entire way through. You know what we shouldn't have? Foley effects. Because when someone opens a door, you shouldn't hear the door. And fuck continuity. My favourite one was a bunch of people hiding behind a door. Then someone kicked the door. And the next shot, they were inside the room and the door was closed. It was fucking great. It was just like they kicked in the door and now they're back. Now they're inside. And it's 4 men are just inside. The door's closed. Doesn't even look like it's been kicked in. It's just been opened, closed.
Maybe one of them closed the door on the way in, but they just didn't want to show that part.
No, but they also show you kicking the door in, which, you know, when you kick a door in, you kind of break it a bit, provided it, you know.
No, you break it.
Yeah, you can't just nicely close it. Be like, there we go. It's great. Everyone watched Glow TV. It's genius television. But that's pretty much all the news. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So should we wrap up there?
Would you like to?
No, I think
no rants, no news.
No, I don't think there's anything
There's a
else.
plug coming out.
There is a plug coming out.
Mm-hmm.
It's the new Datsun plug. You can put it into your bath. It keeps all the water in. It doesn't let any out.
What's that, like from Bath and Bazaar? I was more referring to your next video.
My next video is coming out on the 28th. It'll be Carrion. It's called Carrion or How to Craft a Monster. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I like the title. I'm very happy with it. And it's basically just an analysis about the game Carrion, which I loved way more than maybe I should have. And I really like it. Plus, I did fun things.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody should look at it. If you don't, you're a bad person and Jesus will hate you. Other than that, I'm on Twitter at @LC_Lupus, where I rant about things, mostly video game related. Sometimes on other things. And that's about it. It's also my blog, wailingwolf.wordpress.com. It's wonderful.
It's glorious.
And it's almost over. It's updating till the beginning of April, and then I'm done. I'm tired. I do a podcast now, Mom. And what about you, good sir?
No, for me, I'm still making plans. As soon as I get started on something, I'll plug it, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Better.
Yeah, I mean, like, update for those that don't know, who haven't seen, we've updated our cover art.
Yes.
All of that's been, thank you. All of that's been updated, and as soon as I start my my short animated film, I'll let you know.
Awesome. I think it'll be very fun.
Yeah, and I hope people take a look at it.
If not,
then
I'll kill them all.
I hope you would, but
I mean, I am now on my the next book is Numbers, the 4th book of the Bible. Eventually, I can call in that favor. When you read enough books in the Bible, God listens to you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's like one of those things, where you buy 10 coffees and you get one free. It's like that. For every 5 books you read, you can kill one person. So long as they're not Christian. All right, that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
So goodbye, everyone.
Take care.
I love you.
I love you more.
Disgusting. I smell terrible right now.